This is Secure Payments' therapy session, galloping through the cosmos at light speed, photons, photons, photons. All rights reserved, Secure Payments LLC 2026. Like and subscribe, and thanks for being a part of the creative process. I feel enchanted, in alignment. Trade secrets, chasing, and jobs. Okay? Trade secrets, chasing, and jobs. This is Secure Payments. There are devices that will make you feel sublime all the time. This is Secure Payments. Sublime all the time. There are devices that will make you feel sublime all the time. And the same truth is opposite. So there are devices that may not make you feel like the best. And your mental state is very important. It's words can't really describe how important your attention is. Your attention is incredible. Like, your state of mind is so important. I've had many jobs, okay? Like, I've worked in factories, I've taught in different countries, and I've always found like the same patterns, not so much in other countries, but definitely in America. There are these patterns, and take for example, if I am extremely tired and I know I'm not going to do a great job at work, and I told my superior that, hey, look, today is just not that day. I am not in the best of mood. A lot happened. I would find no sympathy. Like, there would be like this. It's like the superiors did not care that your mind wasn't in the right place. And I would say like, oh yeah, that's understandable, but it's not. It's not. It's not understandable. My employees, if I want them to come in and do a good job, I want them to be in a good mental state. I want them to be well fed and well rested. That's important, having a good mental state. But I constantly found in certain jobs that they wanted you to be hungry. And not just like just you come in hungry and you get filled. No, it was you come in hungry and you get starved. Like, you get starved because there aren't, the opportunities weren't aligning. You weren't really sure what you were getting yourself into. You didn't get a tour of the place. You wasn't really sure about what you were getting yourself into. And usually most jobs take about 90 days before you could actually understand what was going on. Okay. So In 2020, I may have had like 4 or 5 different jobs. And I may have applied for like hundreds or so. And I got the best feeling and the most fulfilling feeling from working for myself. And so I continued to work for myself. And it was like the adage of, seeking first the kingdom. I just didn't know that I was doing that. But that's where I found the most pleasure. And the more I did that, the more pleasure I found. Like I said this in my last Secure Payments session, I said, if you follow your bliss, you get more bliss. If you follow the opposite, you just get more of the opposite. So trade secrets. There are devices that will make you not feel the best. And then there are devices that will make you feel the best. Like, you will feel sublime all the time. This is Secure Payments. It's your choice. It's your choice. The illusion is that there is no choice. This is Secure Payments. And I've... And I've had those conversations before with certain people of choice and free will and determinism. And I'm like, gosh, this conversation again. And if you believe that you have no choice, then you have no choice. If you believe that there's always a choice, there is always a choice. That's what I choose to believe. There's always a choice. So I choose to feel sublime all the time. I choose to follow my bliss and embody bliss. Yeah. So that's a bit of my trade secret. This is Secure Payments. Am I afraid? No. To give that trade secret out? No. I don't feel afraid. I don't feel ashamed. I feel aligned. I feel sublime all the time. Chasing, okay? Chasing is a very masculine trait, okay? Trust me, I know. Chasing, it was one of those masculine traits that I was just like, this is, I don't know where this came from. So like applying for jobs and showing up on time and showing up earlier than everyone else and leaving later than everyone else because that's what I was taught I had to do, or I was told that I had to do. And then I would watch other people who didn't show up all the time, didn't show up on time, and didn't stay late, and they were sublime all the time. Like okay, like there are some devices, and I'm using the term devices now a bit more metaphorically because these devices are like agreements that we make with ourselves, like a man who don't work, don't eat. I've seen so many men and women 500 and 600 pounds, like, don't work, okay, and they eat, okay? Listen, they eat. That is a device that if you choose to use, you may not feel sublime all the time. Like, okay, you may not feel sublime all the time. You may not even eat. You may think that you have to work harder than everyone else and chase, when you don't. You have a choice to not do that. There's always a choice. This is secure payments. Building something building a device that was once a trade secret, and you don't always know that it's a trade secret until you kind of develop the awareness. For example, when I was always working. Like, I was working at age 9, maybe before that. Like, I just was always working, always chasing, always building something, always creating something, had an idea, and I just acted on it. And one of the things that I acted on was an abandoned home. There was an abandoned house, and I wanted to transform it. So I got some gloves, and I cleaned it out, and I opened all the windows, and repaired the doors, and repaired the floors, and repaired the kitchen, and I turned it into a studio. And there, I created a device that and the device was a language device. And when you stepped into this space, you felt sublime all the time. A space where you feel divine all the time, where you can express your language, express yourself. And I call it the studio. I call it King's Palace Records, okay? It was an abandoned home, and I called it King's Palace Records, because on the outside, you're like, it's just an abandoned house. But on the inside, you could feel, like you were embodying a king's palace, where you had the space and the freedom to create, to use your language, to feel sublime all the time. Okay? So yeah, I held on to that because it was an art form. And this is what I've brought into my channel, into this new creation. This is Secure Payments. Because I think your mental state, I know that your mental state is more important than any job. You have to have a good mental state to do just about anything. And some people say, do it without a great mental state. Yeah, I know. I get it. Listen, I've traveled parts of the world broke, okay? And and I wondered why people didn't invite me to parties or invite me to certain things. Well, because I didn't have any money. And I was working through how to feel sublime all the time when I was taught that if you didn't have any money, you shouldn't go out to eat. If you don't have the money to tip, you shouldn't go out to a restaurant. Like, oh man, you mean to tell me they add a tip and then I got a tip extra? I get it. I know what that feeling is like. This is Secure Payments, this therapy session. Okay? I knew what that was like. And I said to myself, and I asked, like I got on my knees and like prayed about it. And I'm like, I don't like to have this feeling of inadequacy in a system that is designed to never give me quite enough. In fact, it is designed to keep me starved or hungry and then starved. I know that I'm capable of building a system that I can show up and feel sublime all the time. I can show up and be in bliss, follow my bliss, and get more of bliss. Yeah. So I made the decision to build Secure Payments. And I've seen devices of the opposite. I've seen devices that like are specifically designed to make me feel shame. Shame for not having enough, shame for who I love, shame for where I came from, shame of things that I couldn't even control. Like, like, what is this? And so I was just like, is this deliberate? And I had to like really come to terms with, was it a deliberate device? And it was a deliberate device. And I said, hey, you know, I read Steve Jobs. I read on Steve Jobs. I learned from Steve Jobs interviews. And he said that you can create something that other people can use. Once you realize that the people who created the world, the reality that you call a reality, were made up. It was made up by people who were no smarter than you. And I was like, wow. That's profound. And so I set out to do it. And I didn't care that I didn't make any money. I studied Amazon. They didn't make a profit for like 10 years, okay? And they had funding. So I said, hey, I can do that. I can create something, and I can go through the trials. I'm prepared to go through the trials. And I'm embodying the success. I am embodying the finish line, okay? Like, I'm embodying the finish line. It is done. It is won. The battle is won. So, yeah, I feel good about conquering that masculine trait of chasing and adapting that other side of my brain, which is more of a feminine trait of waiting and analyzing and observing and thinking instead of just reacting, because chasing is just a lot of reacting. It is more reacting than it is actual thinking. And I don't like to bring up other people's experiences because I don't know other people's experiences. I only know mine. I may think I know someone else's experiences, but I don't. So I choose to not talk about it. I choose to not indulge in someone else's mind. Like, it ain't mine. That ain't my mind. Like, that's not how I think. That's not how I got to the 3 pagodas. Like, that's not how I was able to teach English in China or teach English in Thailand by embodying someone else's mind. No. I know that I have everything within to do what I need to do what I want, to live in bliss. Oh. Yeah. This is Secure Payments' therapy session. Galloping through the cosmos at light speed, photons, photons, photons. Trade secrets. Yeah. Your mental state. Your mental state. Your heart space. Okay? Those things are important. They're your devices. This is Secure Payments. Okay? They are your devices. This is your device. This is your device. There's an abundance of work. There's more work out there than there is money. There's more money out there than there is work. Like, okay. Like, so seek first that kingdom. Seek first that kingdom within. Okay? And if the word kingdom offends you, think queendom, okay? I'ma seek this queendom within, baby. This is secure payments. Like, okay? Like, yeah. So yeah, that's really what I had. Trade secrets, chasing, and jobs. I've had jobs where it's like I knew I was not in the best state. Like, I had jobs where it was like I took out of desperation, and they could tell that I was taking the job out of desperation, so they gave me less. Like, like, whoa. You'd like to think that people are like, but they're like, oh, you're taking this out of desperation? Instead of giving you a bonus, instead of making sure that you have housing and a place to stay so you can show up to work with a good mental state. No. You're going to have to wait 3 weeks to get a check. And you're going to have to figure it out until then. I'm just like, no, there's another way here. Like, there's another way. And I was always offended by, like, TLC's Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. And I was like, oh my gosh, this song. I was just like, my masculine self. I'm like, no, I'm going to chase that waterfall. And then I remember being at a waterfall in Chiang Mai and Thailand. And my friend Knowledge, it was me, Knowledge, and a girl. And we were climbing this waterfall. And I was like, waterfalls, don't go. And I started singing the song. And he was like, I don't chase waterfalls. Waterfalls chase me. And I was just like, I like that. I don't chase waterfalls. Waterfalls chase me. And like, what a friend. Like, what a friend, okay? Like, because that was what I needed to hear. I really needed to hear that, because I have chased, and chasing just doesn't show up externally. It shows up internally when you're constantly chasing, like, the bag instead of attracting the bag. You'll chase people. You'll chase people. Like, and people love that. They secretly love when you chase them. Like, they do. Like, I know I love when the money chases me. Like, I love when the money chases me. Like, that's a good skill to have. To have more clientele than you know what to do with. To have more business than you know what to do with. To have more money than you know what to do with. Now, there is a balance. I will say that. And I am reaching that phase of, I'm like a recovering masculine nomadic. I just made that word up, okay? It's not, I know it's not real. It's like I'm a recovering masculine, okay? Where it's like I would chase so much that I chased people who just got used to me chasing so much that they never picked up the phone to call me. They didn't, like, they literally just didn't care. They just knew that, yeah, he's always chased, so that's what he's going to continuously do. And I had to stop. I stopped. Like, it was the best decision I ever made, to say, hey, you know what? This part of my life, I did a lot of chasing. Let's try something different. And then I know in the middle, I will meet in the middle, and it'll be that yin to the yang, you know. So yeah, having that balance, building that device where you feel sublime all the time in the information age. Okay, this is secure payments. We live in an age of information. What is your device? What is the device that you've built in the age of information? Okay? Work doesn't look the same. I was looking at, and this is probably one of my last points, I was looking at a recent article about an oil company selling off, like, it was in Africa, and they were selling off maybe a big portion of their oil business for $1 billion. And I was like, huh? Some people be like, whoa, that's a lot of money. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of money. But Twitter was bought for $44 billion. This is secure payments. Twitter was bought for $44 billion. The age of information, okay? Information is more important than oil, okay? It's more valuable than oil. So what is your device in the information age? Is it to be sublime, to feel sublime all the time? Is it this mental state and this heart space, okay? What is more important? Yeah. This has been Secure Payments' therapy session. Galloping through the cosmos at light speed. Photons, photons, photons. All rights reserved. Secure Payments LLC 2026. Like and subscribe, and thanks for being a part of the creative process. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Peace.